Hi, my dog lovers. Hi. I would like to introduce you to one of the first products that we've made, and it's called Skin Spray. It used to be called Healing Solution, but because of regulations, we can't use the word healing. So now it's called Skin Spray. And I started using it in the early 2000s in the practice because I didn't want to use chemicals and antibiotics for wound healing. And as a result, I started playing with different formulas, also remembered what I learned from my grandfather, who was a herbalist. And it turned out to be one of my favorite products of all because it eliminates chemicals and antibiotics. And it also speeds up healing of wounds and incisions and reduces swelling and discomfort. So today I have Anna here, one of our healing ambassadors who also helps with answering your emails and connecting with you whenever you need to. And she's going to be asking us or asking me some questions, and I will answer them and we'll go from there. Hi, Anna.
Hey, Peter.
I'm so glad to have you here. I was actually kind of looking forward to the recording because last time it was fun. I haven't prepared for this. So, I'm really curious. What questions do you have?
The first question that I wanted to chat with you about is, can you tell me a bit about the story behind Skin Spray?
When I was growing up, every summer holidays, we used to go to visit our grandfather and grandmother in the second largest town in the Czech Republic. We used to wake up early morning and picked herbs with my grandpa. And then we would put them on these little, almost like flats, and they would dry up on the roof of the apartment building where they lived. I grew up around herbs. Like I woke up in the morning and I would see all the herbs around me, and I still remember the beautiful smell of flower meadows basically in the bedroom. It was really cool. And so, whenever we went picking, I was asking about the properties of the different herbs, and my grandfather was a really good storyteller, so he was giving us all this information in the story form. And I also learned that in the old days, drug companies were using herbs for making drugs, which really is profound because it doesn't happen as much these days. So, when I became a veterinarian and learned that wounds should be healed with antibiotics and chemicals and creams, I soon realized that there was something wrong because I started to see a lot of side effects of antibiotic use, superbugs. I also saw that some of the chemicals were irritating. When I would go to the medical safety data sheets, I would see that these substances were toxic. So when I opened my own homeopathic or holistic clinic, I wanted to use preparations and formulas that were natural. So I went back to books and my memories and put together a formula, and we started using it in the practice. And I started using it on myself and my family. Of course, we always test on people. It was a real aha moment. Like, I didn't realize that more than 95% of all wounds could be actually treated without antibiotics and chemicals and antibiotic creams. So for me, it was a real medical revolution.
Can you tell me a bit about the name? I know it's changed from Healing Solution to Skin Spray. Why is that?
Initially, we used Skin Spray or Healing Solution in the practice, and we just started calling it Healing Solution because it was for healing, and we started to see a real improvement in discomfort and swelling and the recovery and speed of healing. So we continued calling it Healing Solution until the regulators came after us and said that we can no longer call it Healing Solution, and we just renamed it to Skin Spray. So, it's kind of a neutered name, Skin Spray, but the original formula is still in it, and you can call it Healing Solution if you wish, because that's how I call it, actually.
And who's Skin Spray good for? Who can you use it on? Is it good for just dogs? Can it be used on humans?
The question should be what you should not be using Skin Spray for, because I don't necessarily recommend drinking it, even though you could spray it in the mouth, you could spray it on a tongue sore or gum sores, or if you have a dental surgery in your dog or cat or even yourself. You can pretty much use it on anything skin. In veterinary medicine, we would use it for post-surgical incisions. Also in humans, you can use it post-surgically. Insect bites and insect stings, it works really well. I've been bitten on or stung on regular basis, and I know exactly what to do. We've had many clients, many customers using it for baby rash or diaper rash. We've had some of the mothers in our team using it postpartum for healing, and that worked beautifully. Obviously, that was a big discovery, and we really loved to hear that. Anything to heal for skin rashes, incisions, wounds, anything that needs to heal. Just to kind of give you an example how it could be used, it can be used just directly on the skin, or it can be used in a dressing. It can be used on a bandage where you just kind of saturate the bandage with skin spray for kind of like a little bit of a continuous delivery. My personal experience with skin spray is that it reduces swelling. It reduces the pain and discomfort of the wound. Whenever I cut myself, as soon as I apply healing solution, there is this soothing relief that I get. Last year, I went surfing, and I'm not a very good surfer. I had a little bit of an accident. The surfboard flew in the air when I was attempting to surf, and the fin hit me in the head, and I had about 4-inch wound on my forehead, or a big landing field here. Obviously, I ended up in emergency having the wound stitched, and then I was thinking, they're gonna put some creams and all that. Sure enough, they did, and I tried to hold myself back because they sutured my skin together, so I kind of kept it there. As soon as I got home, I washed it all off and I applied skin spray, and it healed really beautifully. I actually have some pictures here, so you can get a sense of how quickly wounds heal. And sometimes I'm actually surprised how quickly they heal, because it's a little miracle. And I almost wish I didn't formulate it, because then I could really rave about it. Now I'm trying to be a little subdued about it.
So you've mentioned that you don't like to use antibiotic creams or different alternatives to skin spray. Can you speak to why?
When you use antibiotic creams over and over, you basically culture superbugs, because if we use antibiotics that are over the counter, they get in the environment and the bacteria gets an opportunity to create resistance. So that's how superbugs are formed. Also, systemic antibiotics for wound healing quite often are necessary, and I think that veterinarians and medical doctors now are starting to realize that it is not needed for wound healing. So that's a little bit of a progress. Many veterinary clinics and hospitals use chlorhexidine in different brand names. It is a substance that is toxic to cells, toxic to bacteria. That's how the bacteria gets killed. Therefore, I don't think it's actually the ideal to use on wounds, because if you use something that is toxic on an open wound, does it make sense? No, it doesn't. But it is a patented substance that the companies that make it can sell. In a way, I feel that we have lost common sense in medicine. If you look at drugs and chemicals, yes, they're sometimes needed in emergencies and situations where they can excel. But most of the time, our goal should be to follow nature and use natural substances and products that are actually derived from natural ingredients.
Well, that brings me into my next question. What is in skin spray?
So there are 4 ingredients in skin spray. The first one is calendula, which is good for wound healing. The second one is golden seal, which is considered antibacterial, antiviral, and it stimulates the body's own defenses. Then there's witch hazel, which reduces the swelling. And in my opinion, that's the ingredient that actually reduces the pain and discomfort. And then there's yucca, which is another wound healing herb. So altogether, they act in synergy and they support the body's own defenses and own healing. The only suggestion I have to try it yourself to see how much difference it makes and how different it is from the traditional, conventional wound healing process.
I'm wondering if you ever had to use skin spray on Sky.
Oh, many times. Like, he was a busy boy, anywhere from cat foot pads and little wounds and incisions, abrasions. Whenever I scaled his teeth, I would spray skin spray on his gums to make sure they heal fast. Yeah, I've used it many times.
And how do you feel about traveling without skin spray?
I panic without skin spray. Like I'm not worried that the customs would take away my stuff, but if they take away my skin spray, I would be very upset.
Is there any way that skin spray could be less expensive?
Skin spray less expensive, sometimes people say that our products are expensive. And when I go in stores or where I look at cost of medicines and antibiotics and they're made chemically from cheap ingredients, our products are as inexpensive as they can be. But I'm trying not to compete with cheap chemicals. We package them in glass. We make sure they're made in human grade or quality control facilities. Skin spray is quite inexpensive because it also lasts very long time. Like you can have one bottle for a long time. I know that many people use it for months and years sometimes. To extend the life of skin spray, I usually keep it in the fridge. It's just, it's a natural formula. It's a good thing to do, but it does not need to be.
Good to know.
When it comes to wound healing, there are a lot of preconceived ideas how it should be done. I know every single person that I've met always reaching for some sort of chemical or antibiotic ointment when there is a wound. And it is a wrong idea that our body doesn't have the ability to heal. In a way, I think skin spray is a little bit of a wound care revolution, and people need to get used to new things. I think it doesn't happen fast, but I'm doing my best to explain that we don't need to use antibiotics and chemicals because they're not good for us and they're not good for the environment. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it'll help you understand wound healing better. It'll keep your dog and yourself away from chemicals and antibiotics. And if you have any questions, you can always email us. Have a wonderful day and thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.